Welcome to our Notting Hill project update. This building is going to be converted into several self-contained flats, and we'll be doing a basement extension and making some other structural changes as part of that. Moving into the basement, we'll be extending the basement to the rear and also removing the structural wall here. The ceiling height will also be raised in the basement by raising the floor above. Moving to the rear of the ground floor, we have a problem area at the back here of some aerated concrete that's failing, so we'll be removing that and installing something much stronger in its place. As part of the works, we've installed some temporary supports throughout the structure, which will help maintain the integrity of the structure while we work. Moving forward then, we've opened up the ground floor area as you can see, so we can get our equipment down into the basement and allow us to start excavating and underpinning. The structural wall has now been removed and we've broken through the rear wall to start extending the basement. Greg and Thomas here are removing some of the soil as part of that process. You can also see we've now removed the aerated concrete ceiling, and as I said before, we'll be installing something a lot stronger in its place as the basement works proceed. Underpinning now continues, and here's our first pin, located just where we broke through the original basement wall, where Greg and Thomas were working previously, and we continue to excavate and build further pins to extend the basement. As with almost all construction jobs, we encounter problems, however we adapt and overcome. So that was how the front of the building looked initially, and we amended it slightly so we could remove the bottom section, which will allow us greater access to use a grab lorry to reach in and grab the soil that we've excavated. Unfortunately, the council weren't happy with that, so we had to gain permission to install an arch at the front of the property and install a belt to get rid of the soil that we've excavated, which explains the large amount of soil to the front of the basement as we waited for the approval for that to go into place. Here we have Greg using the digger to load the belt, which will then be transported directly onto a waiting truck at the front of the property. Anton at the top of the belt, making sure everything runs as it should. We'll be back with further updates soon and hope that you've enjoyed the updates so far.